watching 48 Blitz OT, sponsored by Alabama Concrete.
Welcome in, everyone. 48 Blitz Week 2. Ready to rock and roll tonight. Let's take you to the scoreboard. You see it right on your screen. Florence, 28-6 over Albertville. Tough week for the Albertville community as well. More on that later in the show. Fairview gets the win over East Limestone. The Aggies successful, 56-21. More scores on your scoreboard. How about Lauderdale County? Big win, remaining undefeated. They are now officially undefeated, 3-0. They get the big win, 59-9. Rogers, the Pirates, get a big win over East Lawrence. East Lawrence continuing to build their program as well, but the Pirates really playing well over the last 2 years. Have been rebuilding that respective program to the standard when they were winning region championships in Class 4A many years ago. They went 36-28. More scores on your screen. Fife losing last week to Geraldine at home. Paul Benefield and company, no problems with North Sand Mountain this evening. They win 53-0. Lexington, the Bears at home, taking care of Red Bay, 33-22 tonight. Congratulations to the Bears with that big win as well. Welcome in, everyone. Woo, been a good Friday for sure, right? First off, just the mere fact that it's not 6,000 degrees outside, right? It was super miserable, it was super hot. The games continued to play as we got into week 0 and week 1 respectively. Just very humid, hot and humid Friday nights. But hey, week 2 provided us with some amazing weather. Kind of felt fall-like, right? Am I making that up? But nevertheless, we had a lot of really good games across our area in North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley. My teammate Cam Durr was out at the 48 Blitz Game of the Week. We're hoping to effort that to you all. We're expecting to have that during our regular 48 Blitz show on WAFF Channel 48 earlier this evening. Technical difficulties with that. You did have the opportunity to hear from the winning head coach during the show. We will hopefully hear from him as well after we show you the sights and sounds from that big matchup over at Madison City Schools Stadium. We're going to start the highlights tonight with a matchup of 2 undefeated teams. Literally the only 2 undefeated teams in North Alabama. Austin making the trip to Sparkman and the Senators. We're playing tribute to their fallen teammate, Jaden D. Jarnett. Been a tough week for the Sparkman community. Later in this contest, how about Gavin Fuqua? You know, it seems like literally every year there's 2 running backs for the Black Bears that get busy. 4 than 1 for the Black Bears. So how about the Senators defense, though, stepping up right there at the 1. Second quarter now, and how about Josh Ward? A pretty deep ball to Nicholas Moon. That would set up a TD pass to none other than Brody Slate. Sparkman gets the win. How about the Senators? Ronnie Watson's bunch, 3-0. They get the win 21-18. How about the Battle of Highway 31? A beautiful shot from J.P. Kane Stadium. Bearcats of Coleman in town. How about Hartsel? Jackson Sessions had another idea for Coleman. Going to break up that pass there, but they were going through the bag of tricks. Hartsel at home. Halfback pass. Lincoln Bryant. Noah Lee over the top for 6 there. There you go. Hartsel, no problems tonight. 42 points on the board. They shut out the Coleman Bearcats 42-0. Well. There was a big game. I don't know if you've heard or not. In Madison County and more importantly, Madison City. It was Madison City Schools Stadium. Let me break this down to you. For those new to our area, we have 2 high schools that are separated literally by just 5 miles. You have Bob Jones, you have James Clemens. Many moons ago, prior to 2012, every kid that was a potential high school student went to Bob Jones High School. Obviously, with the growth and the expansion of North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley, you got to make room for more kids. And that means a new high school. James Clemens, built and officially opened in 2012. And since 2012, we've had this rivalry called the Madison Bowl. And tonight, the 12th edition of this contest underway under the lights at Madison City School Stadium. On the one end of the end zone, you got the Bob Jones student body. On the other end of the end zone, you got the James Clemens Jets. Both communities friendly as ever in and around our community. Wonderful people. Until you get ready to play a football game on a Friday night. To go back in time, Bob Jones got a big win last year at Madison City School Stadium over James Clemens under head coach Kelvis White. This year, the Patriots looking to go back-to-back, but more importantly, win their first game of the year. Been a tough road early on for Bob Jones, losing their Week 0 game to Muscle Shoals on the road, and then, of course, losing last week to the Golden Eagles of Athens. We'll hear from Athens coming up later tonight in their game. As for James Clemens, got a big win on the road, went down to Gardendale in the greater Birmingham area to get a big win under Coach Chad McGee, and last week had the Mountain Brook Spartans, a team that reached the Class 6A state championships down in Jordan-Hare Stadium a year ago, looking to, more importantly, get a win there. But give credit to Mountain Brook on the road, but give credit to James Clemens, fighting back and forth contest in that game. But unfortunately, James Clemens came up just short in that contest. So I can't lay it out any better for everyone in North Alabama and Tennessee Valley and all of the wonderful people watching on Facebook now and 48 Now. This is just a big game, and it's a rivalry game. And our own sports anchor and my teammate Cam Durr was there for another edition of the Madison Bowl.
Jets and Patriots squaring off in the Madison Bowl, a show you do not want to miss. And what better way to start this one right off the snap? Ty Marsh connects with Devin Cooper, makes a man miss, cranks up the Jets, and will go down inside Patriots territory. The ball's loose, but will stay with James Clemens. And later in that drive, QB1 Ty Marsh calls his own number, pushes into the end zone. Jets strike first. The same score into the second. Bob Jones right on the doorstep. Tyron Washington says, what door? Kicks it down, walks right into the end zone. Extra point will be no good. Bob Jones trails by 1. Well, later in the quarter, Jets will get that one back. Marsh, we have liftoff and smooth landing for Devin Cooper. Nothing in his way. Jets up 13-7. James Clemens kicks it into autopilot. We head into the final quarter. It's been this pair all night. Marsh took Cooper out on the edge. James Clemens is 1-0 in region play, 2-1 overall. They defeat Bob Jones 40-13.
Big win. Coach, we're going to bring you in right now. You are sitting on standby, my man. We were showing the highlights of your big win over Bob Jones in your rivalry game. Joining us tonight over at James Clemens, the head coach of the Jets, Chad McGee. Coach, congratulations on the win. I wanted to ask you before we kind of get into the meat of the game, just how proud of you of your kids and the resiliency they've showed throughout the year.
Yeah, I mean, man, I'm so proud of this group, and and just the improvement we've made over the course of this year, and man, they've worked hard. They've bought into what we're doing, it's paying off for us. I mean, we could easily, had opportunities to win last week. I think we could easily be sitting here 3-0, but we're not. But we're 1-0 in the region, and that's what's most important for us right now.
Coach, I wanted to ask you, going back to last year, this just as well as everyone in our area. James Clemens, one of our better programs in the Valley and the Tennessee Valley. How important was the offseason and guys believing and setting the standard that you have created for not only yourself, your coaching staff, but more importantly, the Jets to return back and have a really, really good start to this football season?
Yeah, well, to me, the offseason is everything. And, took a long, hard look at where we were. And when I came in with a set of ideas for core values of what our program should be, and then you take a step back after year 2 and we changed our core values and what we believe is going to help us be successful here. And we spent the off season in talking about these core values and what they mean, and made the kids, every kid in this program, to sit down and define the core values so they could tell me exactly what what the core values were and what the definition of that is and what it looks like. And, so like the off season's huge, and the mental and physical stress that we put on them in the off season, is just, it's huge for us and where we're at and just the culture of the program. And, if we're not living out those core values and they're just words on the wall, and, we're trying to live it out and just hammer it home with everything that we do here.
Coach, I want to leave you with this because I want to kind of get into this contest. Listen, when you're dealing with young people that know each other, grew up with each other across town, just 5 miles apart, there's a ton of distractions. This game is huge, and rightfully so, because it's a rivalry game. Walk us through just this contest and the start for your group to kind of set a tone to kind of come away with this win, an important win, and head into the win column with your first win within the region.
Yeah, we set the tone, first kickoff return. We thought we had a really good scheme, and we got it a big, huge return across the 45 and flipped the field there. We didn't finish that drive, but we had field position, and then I knew it was going to be tough in the beginning because they're going to fight, and just because of the nature of the rivalry, it was very tight there at the end, and we happened to pick off a pass right before half and scored with 9 seconds on the clock to kind of extend that lead at half to 19-6. And then, I think we came out and executed in the second half really well, settled in, emotions got in check, played a cleaner game, and we're able to just kind of stretch that lead.
Big win for the Jets of James Clemens, and you just heard from the winning coach of the James Clemens Jets program, Chad McGee. Coach, listen, congratulations, big win. You're literally a couple of possessions away from being completely undefeated right now, but 2-1 sounds great, and what even sounds better, 1-0 in Class 7A Region 4. Coach, much thanks for joining us tonight. Best of wishes for the rest of the way and the rest of the season. We'll talk soon.
Okay. Hey, thanks.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Coach. Thanks. Absolutely. The head coach of the James Clemens Jets coming away with a big, big win. They needed it. Of course, I'm not taking anything away from Bob Jones and Kelvis White. They needed it as well. You want to play a ball game, you want to win. But for James Clemens to come away with this win, huge for the rivalry. But for either one of these teams to get that all-important first win in Class 7A Region 4, because that's what matters for those new to our area. You want to win your region games, and those region games can propel you to the playoffs and the postseason. All right, we're going to get right back into the highlights, and we're going to head to Bill Washington Stadium. The Mustangs of Madison Academy, the only undefeated team in Class 3A Region 7. Mustangs dealing with injuries this week on offense. Kind of short-handed, but that defense really holding their end of the bargain in this one. How about BT Tanner there with the stop? J.B. Pennington would miss a field goal on that drive. The ensuing offensive possession. Look at 5. Look at 5. Come on into the screen, 5. Ken Cherry. Man, he's good. Down the sideline in for the 6 for the score there. Touchdown for the Mustangs. Once again, Bob Gottsch's group short-handed and a lot of players out on offense tonight. Nevertheless, remaining undefeated. They get the big win, 26-21. Want to take a moment to send a big shout out to the boys of Boaz. I want you to look at this picture really quick and look at it really, really well. Obviously, there was a tragedy at Albertville High School. These two programs literally just miles apart. For those that are not familiar or familiar, if you go on Highway 231, 431, you kind of, these programs are right up the street from each other, all in kind of a road there. You got Albertville, you got Boaz, you got Sardis, and then you kind of get into the Etowah and the Gaston area as well. But rivals, enemies on the football field, but at the end of the day, we're all community members, right? You want to do the right thing and honor those within our community. So how about Boaz wearing these number 58 shirts in the honor of the Albertville Aggies. Boaz Pirates, I will never forget that, and I know Albertville won't forget that. This is in the memory of the Albertville Aggies' fallen teammate Julius J.J. Staten. Staten tragically died in a car accident earlier this week. Man, good on you, Boaz. Way to go, guys. Back to the highlights we go. The Florence Falcons looking to bounce back against, as I mentioned, Albertville, obviously dealing with those heavy hearts tonight. Aggies QB Carlos Carabao going to look for a wide receiver. He will be picked off by Daniel Beckwith. Falcons on the attack. Leo Glover finds Jadarius Foster for 6. Then later, it's Cade Davis, Leo Glover connection yet again for the big game. Listen, an emotionally draining week for the Albertville Aggies, and rightfully so when you're losing a community member and a family member and a teammate. All Falcons tonight, just a tough week for Albertville. They win 28-6.
This is the 48 Blitz Play of the Week, sponsored by Jax. It's all about the South.
We got plays of the week, folks. How about play number 1? This is Scottsboro's Antonio Brox. You know, when you swing your arm like that, that means you're running really, really fast. Come on, Brox. Long TD run for the score. How about play number 2? It's going to be Florence's defensive back, Jay-Shot Pearson. How about a 50-50 ball? Who comes down with it? Jay-Shot. Interception for the Falcons, and that good enough for play of the week nominee number 2. Madison Academy's Ken Cherry. Come on, 5. Come on, 5. Down the sideline for a big touchdown run as the Mustangs come away with a victory 26-21 over J.B. Pennington. So once again, your 3 nominees for this week's Play of the Week: Scottsboro, Florence, Madison Academy. Folks, you have until 3 on a Wednesday. 2 o'clock. I'm giving you an extra hour. You don't have an extra hour. You have until 2 p.m. to cast your ballot for either Scottsboro, Florence, or Madison Academy. If you want to vote, we got a QR code you can do as well, and we can scan that as well to make your vote count coming up throughout the week. We'll have that across all of our social media platforms this week. We will once again make that announcement Wednesday night at 6. With that, we're done. Almost. Folks, make sure that you tune in to our 48 Blitz, our 48 Blitz OT show each and every week. We moved to week 3, folks. We're kind of starting to get in kind of the proverbial meat of the schedule for region play across North Alabama for all of our area teams as they continue to make the trek toward potential playoff and postseason aspirations. There's a lot of people that you all do not see out here that makes this ugly mug look halfway decent on the air. We want to send a big shout out to all of our members in the back in TMP. Zach, we got Zach McGovern, we got Clark Simcox, we got Paul Mullen. Who else is in there? We only got 3 people in there tonight? Man. And then all of the wonderful ladies that also helped in the newsroom tonight. Yeah, Kate Norum, we got Carly Lloyd, we got Javon Williams. Who else do we have in there? We got Rory Turner, young man Rory. I always wanted Margot Gray. You may have heard of her. She does the 10 o'clock news. You may have seen her around from time to time. But everyone just has an amazing time as we try to put all of this together for you, our community in North Alabama, each and every week. Big thumbs up to my teammate, Cam Durr. You want to talk about audibles tonight? You want to talk about a lot of audibles and a lot of adjustments having to be made? Kudos to Cam Durr and kudos to Dion Hose, her photographer out there tonight at Madison City School Stadium. We didn't have an opportunity to show that 48 Blitz Game of the Week during our regular telecast on 48, Channel 48 for our WAFF 48 Blitz show, but we made the most of it. With sound from head coach Chad McGee from James Clemens, who came away with that victory. And of course, tonight, right here on our 48 Blitz OT show, you have the opportunity to watch the highlights in full. Big thumbs up, way to adjust out there, everyone. That's going to do it for us, folks. Listen, there is some sort of football game that's going on down in Tuscaloosa. I don't know if you've heard of it or not. There's this team called Alabama, and there's this other team from Austin, Texas called the Texas Longhorns. Yours truly will be down there for that contest tomorrow night. How about the Auburn Tigers? Literally, if you drove from Auburn, Alabama to Berkeley, California. It's a little over 36 hours. That's why they fly a plane. You can get there in a little over 4.5 hours. But they're going to take on the Cal Bears. 9:30 p.m. Central Time kick. I know some of those guys in the newsroom probably going to make a pot of coffee to get through the second half of that contest because that's going to be a late one. But it should be an exciting, high-scoring affair between Hugh Freeze's bunch and the Cal Bears. And, of course, we have UNA on the road in Tarleton State. They're starting their conference slate as well. How about the home opener for the Bulldogs of Alabama A&M? At Normal, Alabama on the Hill. The Lions hosting the Dragons of Lane College. That's my mom's alma mater, by the way. I told Coach Kyle Maynard, don't beat them up too bad tomorrow. Bulldog Show in the morning. Thank you for that, Zach. On the Hill Live, our first show of the year. If you like ESPN's College Game Day, you may want to make your way over bright and early tomorrow morning at 8:30 to check out On the Hill Live. Students, fans, coaches, athletic director Dr. Paul Bryan will be there, and we will have that streaming to you. Facebook Live and on 48 Now as well as we get ready for the start of the Alabama A&M Bulldogs home slate and, more importantly, their home opener tomorrow evening at 6. Jacksonville State also in action. We got Troy in action. We got a lot of college football across the board. It's going to be a fun Saturday. We will have you completely covered right here as Cam Durr, my teammate, will have you covered at 5 and at 10. Of course, we have Big Ten Saturday Night Football, so we won't have a 6 p.m. newscast tomorrow. But a 5 and a 10 will get you completely covered for all the things across the country and updates for all things college football. I have talked enough. And the guys, I was trying to get to 11 p.m. on the nose. I'm like 40-something seconds away, so I'm just going to keep talking until we get to 22 or 23 even, and then I'll say good night. I'll just say good night right now. Everyone, thanks so much for joining us. We truly appreciate you watching us each and every week. Until next week, listen, enjoy the games. Enjoy week 1 of the NFL football season. Don't throw anything at your TV for fantasy football. It's fantasy. Watch the reality. And then if the fantasy works out for the reality, we're all good. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you back here next Friday.